even while in the church while we attend, there were ladies, but my mind was not on anybody. You know, there are places they'll tell you, the pastor say, oh, sit down, see that fine girl, that sister, why not talk to her and all that. All those things were there. But my mind, I just believe was God, you understand? What actually captured my attention, he was talking about his sister-in-law came and there's this young girl he came with. But I now recall, okay, I've seen her one time in church, you understand? So it was from there. I started I get a contact from him.
Then the highest airtime for MTN was $750. So every day he would send airtime $750. And even when I tried to call him, he won't pick. He will cut it and call me back. And he would talk to everybody that was around me that time. And he asked me that if I would agree to marry him. So I told him that I barely met you and I don't know much about you. So just give me some time to consult my oracles. That was the word I gave him. So
when she said she was waiting, she wanted to consult her oracle, I was like, well, you know that some younger that you know that this one is really younger, but I didn't take that as this kind of excessive shakara, you understand? But when she said she wanted to consult her oracle, I said, well, let me give her time.
He was straightforward, and I love the fact that he was a calm person, he was gentle, he loved God, and he was just simple. He was not too difficult to understand. In my heart, I was like, wow, this is what I wanted, because I was actually praying. I have been praying, waiting on God to bring that perfect man.
Before we met with her, I know I've been praying. So when I met and when we began to talk and how I decided that, okay, this is the person, there was no more struggle. When I proposed to her, it didn't even take, in fact, I think we married within 6 months, if I'm not mistaken.
Our meeting and marriage.
Our meeting and marriage, it's like 6 months or 7 thereabouts. So it didn't take me time because I was prepared. And when I approached her, I was not approaching her for friendship, for like maybe relationship or like, no, we became friends. And as that, my intentions were made known. And when I speak to her, I went to meet my father-in-law then. I told him, I went straight to the point. I said, Dorcas is my friend and we've been together and I like her and I would want to marry her. I just went straight to the point. So he now called my mother-in-law now. So when she came, he said, I should repeat what I said. You know? So I just repeated everything word for word.
And he stole his heart.
You know, I didn't know those things he was moved by my approach and all my sincerity and all that.
I know that. I and my husband, we come from 2 different backgrounds. So when he came, he told me, after he proposed to me, he said, he's going to take me to his mother's place, which she was in the village. He said, afterwards, he's going to ask me again if I will marry him. So I asked him why. He said, because of where he's coming from. I told him, I said, are you living in a rat hole? He said, no. I said, even if you are living in a rat hole, it's not a determinant factor. I love you for who you are, and I know that you will not remain there. So we went to the village, and thank God I didn't go empty-handed. You know, I got some goodies for my mother-in-law. For the first time I was meeting her, she came, she wanted to hold my back. I said, no, I hugged her. I put my hands over her shoulder. We walked to the house from the road. You know, she brought a bench, got me a kunu. I sat down. I drank the kunu, you know. So she now called my husband to the backyard. She said, hey, this one, are you sure you'll be able to cope? So he told her, don't worry. And when we went and came back, he still asked because he told me he was going to ask. I told him, yes, I'll marry him. And he gave me this engagement ring that I'm still wearing.
She's somebody that loves God. I think that's number one thing. Because every other thing revolves around how everybody sees God. She wants the best for people around, especially the children. But at some point, I don't buy my clothes. She buys virtually all the clothes. She likes looking good. She wants people to appear presentable no matter what. You know, you can go to an extent to see that myself, the children, everybody looks clean, you understand? Make sure you have the best outfit, appear good and all that. Like perfumes, she likes to smell nice at all times. I think I can say that of her. Very clean person, always want environment clean and all that. She's very kept.
Oh,
She's very sacrificial, very understanding.
thank you.
You know, she easily forgives, you understand? She easily forget that wrong has been done.
For instance, if I say I want to eat granite, he will buy roasted one, raw one, boiled one, just to ensure that in case I don't even like this, I would like that. So he's that kind of man. He lost his job. It took him about 2 or 3 months before he was able to open up to say, this is what is happening. And I told him, you see, you know what? It's not a problem. It's not a problem. Why? Because I know that you are not a lazy man. And I know that this situation is not permanent. It's a phase, and definitely it will pass. I encouraged him, and I had to step in because I see myself and him as one. The Bible says, for the two shall become one. And I see him as part of me. So I had to step in to do what I could do. It doesn't have to be a man that will do everything. If he does it, fine. But I see myself as a helpmeet. Yes, when he's not able to do, I'm able to do and also complement alongside.
I couldn't just believe that, okay, I was not having a job because of how it happened, but she stood all through. And in terms of understanding, very wonderful. Tried to make sure that it's not known to anybody that we have a need, so because of the job loss and all that. There's some women that because the husband does not have a job, every other person get to know, the nagging and all those things, but that wasn't her story at all.
I cannot remember when last, I'll say, my husband and I kept malice. I can never remember that we have not been talking, we kept malice for years or for months. And I want to let every single to know that God answers prayer. Everything, I'm not saying it for the sake of saying, but everything I prayed in a man, God gave me in my husband. He even gave me more than I thought. Sometimes when I sit down with colleagues and friends, when everybody is complaining, my marriage is like this, my marriage is like that, and I don't have what to complain about, I keep quiet. Because once you open your mouth, you want to say something, they think that, oh, this one is just showing off. She wants to show us she's enjoying and all that. But this is something that I've experienced. 13 years feels like 6 months. It humbles me. It humbles me that I have a husband that he doesn't give me headache. He doesn't drink. He doesn't smoke. He doesn't look at women. He loves God with his totality. And it's not just in words. He has given his life, his everything to God. And he respects me. He loves the children. He loves us. God did well to me. That is all I can say.